Hello everyone, Ted Clayton here. So, something happened to me recently that got me thinking, and I want to share a theory with you. It's about one of the biggest taboos in modern communication: interrupting. Now, I'll be the first to admit it. I interrupt people. But before you hit the dislike button, hear me out. Because I think there's a huge misunderstanding about what an interruption can mean. For the record, when I interrupt, I am always actively listening. In fact, I often interrupt to help. Just the other day, I was in a meeting and I interjected to make a point. The speaker paused and completely lost their train of thought. And you know what I did? I reminded them of exactly what they were last saying. We got back on track instantly. This is my normal. For me, a conversation isn't a rigid turn-based system. It's a collaborative build. Ideas bounce around. They spark new ones in real time. My interruptions are meant to be signs of engagement, to clarify, to agree vigorously, to move the dialogue forward. But I've become acutely aware that for many people, being interrupted feels deeply disrespectful. And for the longest time, I couldn't fully understand why. And that leads me to my theory. I don't think the aversion to interruption is just about rudeness. I think for many, it's a learned defense mechanism, a form of conversational trauma. Think about it. Many people have engaged with narcissists or just chronically domineering individuals. For those people, conversation isn't a dialogue, it's a monologue. An interruption from them isn't collaboration, it's a power play. It's a way to shut you down and redirect the spotlight. So, when someone has a history of that, their sensitivity radar gets calibrated to see any interruption as a threat. They struggle to distinguish between an interruption that's trying to dominate the conversation and one that's trying to facilitate it. The defensive wall goes up immediately. Now, because I'm aware of this aversion, I've adapted. I've started to preempt my interruptions with phrases like, "Forgive me for jumping in," or "I just want to build on that." But I'll be honest, it can be exhausting. It starts to feel like I'm the only one making an effort to accommodate a different communication style. It feels like my natural way of engaging, which is born from a place of enthusiasm and collaboration, is being pathologized as wrong. Where is the mutual effort? If I'm expected to understand the trauma behind the aversion, shouldn't there also be an effort to understand the positive intent behind my style? So my point isn't that people are wrong for disliking being interrupted. My point is that we're losing nuance. We've lumped all interruptions together as a social sin. And in the process, we're stifling a dynamic, co-creative form of conversation. We're placing the entire burden of navigation on one party. The real skill, the true mark of good communication, isn't just waiting for your turn to talk. It's being able to discern the intent behind an interjection. Is it trying to help or hijack? I believe we need to move from a rule of don't interrupt to a principle of let's ensure we both feel heard, regardless of the style it takes. But what do you think? Am I onto something, or am I justifying a bad habit? Have you had experiences where an interruption actually helped, or where the style clash created friction? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if this got you thinking, well, that was the whole point. Thank you for listening.